Previously on Get Creative. I am making a custom 4x4 foot diameter rug for a NFL champion, future Hall of Famer, one of the best to ever do it. I am making a 101 special edition piece for none other than Patrick Mahomes. Welcome back to Get Creative. This is part 2 of episode 1 of the Patrick Jordan Mahomes rug. It's been about 6 hours now, and as I told y'all, that glue process takes a little bit of time, but I think it's ready. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, man, so the glue has finally dried. As you see, it is hard, it is touchable, it has gotten a darker color, but it's still malleable. It still can move like a rug. It's not gonna be hard, but it is done now. So what I would normally do is take a razor and carve around the outside and just cut it out. But since it's the full canvas is taken up, the easiest thing for me to do is just pull it off the board and then just trim it with scissors. So this is how it works, man. We just take it off of the nail hooks. We're talking 4 feet and probably 25 pounds. Time to get busy. Told y'all this was no joke. Time for post work. Alright, man, so what we're doing right here is loosening the edges. So what these edges are, we curve them over so that we get a nice flat edge. I'll just do about 3 to 4 inch flaps all the way around the entire rug, and then I'll go around with the hot glue, fold all these over, glue them down, and that's glue process part 2. There is 4 glue processes, but we almost done. This is just a quick part of the process. I want to make sure I show you guys everything. Very tedious, very attention to detail in order to execute properly. Get these last couple relief cuts. That's the best word for it, relief cuts. That part is done. All right, man, as y'all can see here, I got the rug face down. I have the felt on the back cut to size. I chose to go with the red felt as the backing to match the front. This side is actually already glued down. I went ahead and started the process. This side has been glued down by using the spray glue. And now we're on to gluing down the other side, man. So you can see this process. I'm gonna let y'all see how it goes right here. We give that about 15-20 seconds since we outside. Let that go ahead and not be as wet, and then that way when we put it together it sticks properly. So and you go all the way across like this, all the way to the edge. All right, man, so the back is set. It is adhered to it. As you can see, the edge is still a little rough. That's when we go into part 4 of gluing and trimming to get the edge of the rug really smooth. So we let that dry for a few minutes, and it's on to step 6. Let's go. And we back at the table. We back at the table, man. As y'all just saw, the backing is done. The felt is on the back. I roll it up so it can, you know, take its shape real quick. And we're on to the final step of gluing. I believe this is step 4 of glue. So if you're wondering what I'm doing right now, is I'm pulling just a little, maybe like an inch away from the edge of the felt back from the tarp. Some of it's slightly glued, some of it's not, so it's a little tougher in some spots to get back, but I make sure I don't spray right close to the edge because I know I have to do this anyway. If I did the spray glue all the way to the edge, I wouldn't be able to pull it back like this. So this allows me the freedom to pull it back a little bit so that I can hot glue it down properly, right around the edge. Edges are now hot glued down. I'm just gonna go around real quick and make sure I haven't missed a spot under there, and then we'll go on to the scissors, which is where we'll cut all this excess off, and we'll have a nice smooth edge before we shave it down. So we getting there, man. Appreciate y'all watching part 2. Let's do it. As y'all can see, we are on to step 7. I think, maybe 8, I don't know. It's a lot of steps. Well, here we are, man. This is the first introduction to what the rug will look like on the other side. As y'all can see, it is still very furry and shedding, and you really can't even almost tell what it is. But I gotta use this tool. This is a little yarn rake. What this is gonna do is pull out any of the excess yarn that's in this rug before I shave it down, any of the pieces that are in there but not glued all the way, that just need to come up out of there. So we're gonna go ahead and take that off. Very tiring process. As you can see, there's no real method to this madness. This is get through it without tiring out, pretty much. And I just wanna go multiple directions. So I just wanna make sure I go over every spot on the rug. You go both ways. All right, now, y'all just seen me take all the top extra yarn off, all the little extra fibers. We pulled out most of the excess that's in there. You gotta be very careful due to being able to mess up the rug. This is pretty much one of the first times you can mess up the rug. So I have to be very careful. As y'all can see here, I have a little bit of equipment. I have my step up, step down voltage transformer because this is a foreign device. This is my carpet shaver. Very sharp blades under there, very heavy. It lays flat on the surface like that. So the shaver connects to the inverter. And then I also have a vacuum cleaner. The vacuum cleaner, we connect the hose to there so that any of the fibers that we're shaving off the top of this rug will go directly into the vacuum cleaner. So it's a 3-part hookup, but this is very important. This is leveling the rug before carving. So let's do it. See, it's starting to look a little flatter, a little more smooth, and not as furry. Come back, and see I'm doing these nice circular motions. That prevents any lines, because sometimes they will make a couple lines if it's not cutting completely level, if your floor is not level, or you know, it's bubbled up a little bit. So the circles help prevent the line marks. Let's jump back into it. All smooth, man. Now it's pretty much ready for me to go ahead and do the final carving details. First, I will trim off that back edge. Looks pretty good to be just carved down with no carving details. Just shaved down with no carving details. The face looks a little blurry, but I think with my tweezers and my clippers, I should be able to make that pop out. But on to the next step. Now, for the longest process, the most important process, this rug looks pretty average right now, right? This looks like something that you could buy or anybody could make. What I'm about to do is really bring it to life and make it pop out. Y'all gonna see multiple clips, me jumping around, but we're gonna start off with either the round part circles right here or with the letters. I'm assuming I'm gonna go with the letters. No, I'm gonna do the circles first. So you guys just saw me carve out the letters. As you guys can see, they are complete. And now we're on to the part that's gonna require a lot of attention to detail. because I'm gonna have to make sure I accentuate every single one of these lines and I don't carve them incorrectly, because I can easily cut out some of these small lines. Some of these small lines here, typically I have like a tweezer where I can kind of separate the lines. But before I go into fine lines like these along the edge, where if I cut too much, I mess it up, I want to try to separate some of the colors where you can kind of get an idea of where everything is supposed to be. Very tedious, right? Very, very tedious. And it works better with tweezers, but this is the gist. You want to kind of leave room and get the lines as neat as you can get them when they're this thin, because this clipper is pretty thick. So to get in here without cutting out the black, I'm going to show you guys. Let's start with the red. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm leaving a little room from the black and not getting right up on it. So I got to take my time and slowly nick away at the red, because if I get too close to the black and cut it out at the bottom, I'll have no black showing at the top, and you won't be able to see the difference in the letter and the guy. I kept the black there. Now the black looks thicker and more present. So essentially I'm drawing it all over again, if you're really being honest. I draw it on the tarp, I draw it with the gun, and then I come back and redraw it with the clipper. All right. And there we have a basis and a start line, because I have to do the other side of the black as well. But there's the gist. And you guys will see here shortly the completed product. Yeah, man, the time has officially come. You guys got to witness the creation of this Patrick Jordan Mahomes rug from point A to Z, which I'm super excited. Everybody got to see the process it takes to create these rugs. This one was special, man, and I appreciate everybody who was interested, who was tuned in to see this. So without further ado, the world premiere, the presentation, the first visual presentation of this rug complete right now.